Hey guys, it's Melanie Hinds, your fastest Iraqi dinar summary on the net. We'll get right to it. It's a very surprising today in the summary. I'll tell you why as I go through the articles. There was a lot of articles we covered, breaking news out of Iraq. I always bring my own intel through the breaking news out of Iraq, looking at all the detailed articles that they're putting out. One of them was, of course, Jordanian exports to Iraq hit 844 million. On my live stream, we had a little bit of a excitement because it was only for the first 8 months of 2025. And given the numbers, I ran the numbers and it looked like they were talking about a 141 rate, but that was the Jordanian dinar. So we caught it. We looked at it, guys. We look into the details here. You should consider subscribing, tapping the bell if if you want to know the details, because there's more evidence this is done. Iraqi markets at a standstill amid internal and external pressures. They're talking about the election, guys. The election is a very interesting time. They've got a lot of different articles about the election. Then al-Sudani unveiled a plan to boost Iraqi jobs, which of course is going to help him. They will launch a national investment and employment initiative aimed at reducing unemployment by providing incentives to projects that prioritize hiring Iraqi workers. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani announced on Sunday. The Prime Minister's media office reported that the decision followed a meeting on economic and employment policies where officials discussed ways to align the government action with private sector and international support to create jobs. We remember, for those of us who are part of my channel, comment down below if you've been part of my channel, when we did 17 to 31 articles every single day. We knew that in their MOUs, they contracted to use 80% Iraqi citizens. So I think that's already been put in all those MOUs. He's already stood up for the people. Then oil prices rally after a breakthrough on global trade. That article was pretty good. It said oil prices rose in early trade on Monday after U.S. and Chinese economic officials sketched out a trade deal framework, easing fears that tariffs and export curbs between the world's two top oil consumers could dent global economic growth. Brent crude futures rose 46 cents to 66.40 a barrel. The U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures, they're making bets. They run the table. I like to use the idea of a poker table. They're Vegas, and we're just people that walk into the casino. So be aware. 61.96 after rising. It said, Haitong Securities said in a note that market expectations have improved following new sanctions on Russia and the easing of U.S.-China tensions. So there's sanctions on Russia, easing the tensions between U.S. and China and India. I mean, Trump has made peace with so many countries. It's like Russia seems the only odd man out right now, and that is bearing well for the countries that are aligning together against Russia. Gold prices slide in Baghdad, dollar prices drop. That's typical. But then there was another article. If the Jordanian one wasn't enough, it said Iraq, 45 billion from oil exports in 9 months. Again, they're talking through September. We're at the end of October. We are in election season in Iraq, and November's right around the corner. It talks about 48, it says 45 billion in the title. Then it says Iraq generated more than 48 billion. 3 billion difference is pretty big in oil revenues during the first 9 months. They're just talking the first 9 months. What does that mean? Could they have a rate change in October that they're applying back to the beginning month of October? Could be. What do you think? Comment down below. It said between January and September, the country exported over 918 million barrels of crude, averaging 102 million barrels per month. Exports from southern and central fields via Vaz reports reached 900 million barrels, while shipments from the Karaya field in Kirkuk totaled 7.09 million barrels. Deliveries from Kirkuk to Jordan stood at 1.86 million barrels before being suspended in July. Revenues between March and September, which was just a quarter, reached 48.8 billion. So the numbers aren't jiving in this article, and I pointed that out on my live stream. You can go if you want to listen to more. It also said exports from the Kurdistan region now average 195,000 barrels per day, occasionally exceeding 200,000 crude flows from Kirkuk to Turkey's Cyan port. It resumed late September. They've been pumping oil ever since. So are they gonna, if they redo the thing, they could put it back to October 1st. They could do that if they do it this month. The resumption comes as Saudi Arabia moves to extend its own production cuts to help balance supply within the OPEC group. And Iraq is the second largest OPEC producer. So guys, Iraq is perfectly positioned to just run the table in terms of the oil market, and then all the other things they've set up, which they don't even talk about because they did 1,000 MOUs. Again, I keep that on your forefront because they have a lot of non-oil revenue coming in if they could just get this thing done. Iraq launches first electric car factory. That's brand news today. That was not even there this morning. It said Kirkuk province on Monday laid the foundation for the Iraqi factory set to produce electric, gasoline, and diesel. I wonder if that has anything to do with Iraq. I wonder if it has anything to do with Elon Musk. I'm just thinking. The governor told news that the Kirkuk in Iraq witnessed today a qualitative leap in national industry with the launch of the largest electric car manufacturing plant. The factory's management signed preliminary agreements with major car manufacturers from the United States, Germany, and Turkey to transfer technology and strengthen local industrial capabilities. According to Taha, the project is expected to create thousands of jobs in Kirkuk and reduce reliance on imports by promoting domestic vehicle production. Construction will take 180 days under a 2-shift schedule, with production scheduled to start within 365 days. Again, that's 2026 budgetary revenue. Then dollar prices climb, dollar prices fall, gold falls, I think 1%. It's all because that's just the way the markets work. And if you time your exchange right, you can take advantage of a 3x return, depending, we know it's scheduled to come out at 481.01, $4.81. According to that Forex memo we have, that the CBI, it gave them the rate. The CBI, according to the colonel, the retired colonel, the CBI is the one who gave them that rate, the Forex, at 481.01. I've read that many times, and that even if they reduce 3 zeros, it'd be 4.80. So, guys, we're just waiting for this to be released. It's already preloaded on Forex. Now we go to what everybody else is saying as of today, because we've been talking about that article since August 25th. That Forex article. So it's been well over a month already. Claire says, article, the largest block no longer matters. The Trump administration sets post-election rules. Quote, in the final days leading up to the Iraqi election, scheduled to take place in just 15 days, Tehran is attempting to retest the loyalty of its allies within the country amid indications that the upcoming elections may produce a different political equation, one that favors a shift away from Iranian influence. Political circles describe what is currently happening as a political rush towards Washington by most parties, including wings within the coordination framework. Tuck, leave it. Hey, leave it. Independent politician Mathal al-Alusi says that everyone is sending messages to America that they are the only ones capable of controlling the situation in the next phase after the elections. They're looking to the U.S. Everybody's looking because they know Trump is the strongest brand on the planet, the strongest negotiator on behalf of America. They see what he's done. He's created peace in all these countries. He's working for world peace. Really got to keep praying for him that he stays alive and healthy. Militiaman, are they going to tell us everything? Not a chance. Are they going to tell you when it revalues? Or what the exchange rate specifically is going to be? Nope, but they definitely give you indicators, and if you're savvy enough to be able to follow along, I think you'll get the big picture, just like if you're savvy enough to have a retired colonel that's a Forex trader that sent you the article that said what it's loaded at Forex. Like, hello, please subscribe, tap the bell. Nader from the Middle East, the 50, 100s, and 200s are out. Even the 1 and 5 exist already. He said, I know what I'm talking about, and Nader should. He's lived there. He goes, I know that. The 50, 100, and 200 are out. The 5s and 10s and all the lower denoms are not out. The 25,000, 10,000, 5,000, 1,000 are still on. Everything is still on. That will not change till we change the rate. He's right on. I appreciate his perspective. That's why I give you everybody's perspective, so you can begin to see the bigger picture and not get drawn down into any one. You know, you can't see the forest for the trees. You don't want to focus on just one tree, one law, one thing, and hinge on that. The forest is saying they're ready. Do you see it? I see it. Do you see it? And what are you having for dinner? Comment down below. I'm having the chicken I baked yesterday that I used on my sandwich. We're going to have that over salad tonight. We're going to finish the chicken up. Be resourceful till this thing happens. Make sure you're frugal. Make sure you do 1 meal a day like I do with my plan, with my shakes. See the links below. The 3 fishes is where the links are. Frank 26. Yesterday we talked about, you know what? I decided to skip his just because I don't want to confuse anybody and have limited time. Mountain Goat, no obstacles in way of withdrawing oil revenues from U.S. banks. The interesting part about that article is it finishes with talk of removing the zeros. If we take what they just said in these recent articles about deleting the zeros, it appears to me and was confirmed to me on Wednesday by the CBI contact that the CBI is going to fund the 2026 budget with the reinstatement and the new rate. Yay! Isn't that good news? Isn't that worth a praise God. Mark C. article, Iraq needs a U.S. envoy to face current circumstances and regional crises. More and more folks are downright excited about the moves Trump has made in the last week or two in Iraq. The envoy Trump sent is a native Iraqi, and Iraq is looking forward to a close relationship with the U.S. Everybody's excited. I'm especially excited. And then Frank 26 said last night, what we have right now is the CBI just exploding like a cornucopia with so much powerful information about the monetary reform for our investment. We're at a point right now where it is just overflowing with so much information. Even Fun Lou said something that, oh, well, it's not worth it. I did all this last night. Trump's envoy to Baghdad, I want to make Iraq great again. Make Iraq great again. I didn't see that last night. What else? I think we're done. What do you think? Guys, just under 11 minutes. Please subscribe, tap the bell. Fastest Iraqi dinar summary on the net. This will be split up into shorts and posted throughout the night and throughout the day tomorrow, so you can take it in bite-sized pieces and hear it all over again, because you got to hear it a few times. God bless.